I'm so much happier than I ever imagined a person could be, and feel so lucky that I'm still getting to do it. There's nothing more exciting than being in the company of really wonderful artists, where you realize that, you know, the study you've put in, or the time you put in to develop your skills and so on, you haven't wasted them. Mike Nichols was like that. Altman was like that. That it didn't matter who came up with the idea, or it didn't matter, it was about contributing. I mean, Bob said to me, actually it was after working with, doing Guys and Dolls. I said, Bob, how come you never fire anybody? Why would I do that? I said, you're here because I want you to be here. You know, the worst thing you can do is give me what I expect. The best you can do is surprise me. It's like a painting. If I want some blue in this painting, I'm going to ask you to come in, because I know you're going to get your elbows in some red and your knees in some yellow. Best you can do is surprise me. And I love that. That was freeing. Well, I never tried to be the funny one. I just saw it that way. But also, you know, I had this face when I was a young person that, frankly, if I saw me walking down the street, my first was, fuck you. You can't have a face like that and be funny. So I haven't really spent a lot of time, you know, trying to be seen as, you know, in ways that people don't see me, because it feels like a fool's errand. Gallagher, what the hell are you doing? You're doing a teen soap. What are you, just throwing it all away? Like, what do you think it's a teen soap? I thought it was like a great American drama with comedy. When I first read the script, I thought it was absolutely the best script I had read in ages. And here is this wonderful story about a Jewish guy from the Bronx who's living in a waspy neighborhood with his shiksa wife, and he doesn't forget who he is. He maintains a sense of humor, and he still has the capacity and courage to open his arms, you know, to someone who could benefit from that. Good casting. Our energies, they worked well together. And I loved those kids. Never had a single problem with any of those kids. I love them to this day. And I was very lucky in that Josh and the producers, Dave Bardis and Doug Lyman, wanted the parents to be present. And he was very open-minded, because Josh was 26. And I had kids. I was the only one who had kids at that point. My wife and I would read through the script in those parenting moments. I think if I said this to Misha here, I think they should really just come and arrest me and, you know, call social services, because it's not okay for her to spend the night with my business partner. Get your bags and let's go. I tried to be the kind of father that I would have wanted, you know, my dad to be sometimes, to be more present and interested and communicative. And so that deficit that I felt, that I tried to fill with these wonderful, you know, guys that I worked with, that I worshiped, like O'Toole and Cagney and Lemon and Manny Eisenberg, you know, and who filled that role for me beautifully. I loved my dad dearly, but he didn't talk to me, you know, and we worked together, you know, around the house and stuff. But I couldn't ever, my big failing in life is I could never get him to actually talk to me. Dad, tell me something. You'll figure it out. I wish my father had been able to tell me something about his time. You know, he was in the Normandy invasion, but not right on the first few waves. But the Battle of the Bulge, I know something happened, because he would just twist his hair and he had 1,000-yard stare and pull it. And what do you think about, McGee, nothing interesting, go rake the leaves or whatever. But I know that he had seen things and he had experienced things. I didn't think he understood how important he was to me. In some ways, I feel like my best relationship is with the audience. I kind of feel them in a way, it feels like, and I like their company. You know, I've probably done well over 2,000 performances on Broadway. I love walking to the theater. I love saying hello to the stage doorman and walking up those iron staircases and seeing my dressing room. And seeing the rest of the cast and the crew. The people who work on the house, a lot of them came from the kitchen, you know, and from these various neighborhoods. It's just such an authentic part of New York in terms of my experience. I couldn't have anticipated this wonderful role in Left on 10th coming down the pike. There's nothing more exciting than having a new play, nothing more, well, exciting, because you never quite know how it's going to land. I think of it as a romantic comedy with harrowing moments, but it feels like a full meal. I think in the same way life is a romantic comedy, in that it's not comedy all the time, but as the play sort of illuminates, you really just don't want to experience one thing. In fact, I think my character says at some point that he learned early that life is a continuous cycle of joy and pain. You can't anticipate anything. You have no idea what's going to happen. And the only thing I can do is really just try to be absolutely the best I can be in any given moment.